As of July 5, fully vaccinated Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and people registered under the Indian Act will no longer have to quarantine when they enter Canada, the federal government announced Monday. At a press conference, Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness Minister Bill Blair said the government is still urging people not to travel internationally right now, but noted the border restrictions that began more than 15 months ago were never intended to be permanent. Tories demand release of Winnipeg lab documents amid questions on employees' Chinese military connection. Why industry experts are warning travelers about booking cheap flights. Travel demand on the rise as some international restrictions lift. More confusion over AstraZeneca booster shot in Quebec. NACI recommends Pfizer of Moderna for people who received AstraZeneca as first COVID-19 vaccine. Shototul, Sajjan Spar over handling of military misconduct investigation. O'Toole calls for Defense Minister's resignation over handling of military misconduct investigation. House of Commons censure vote targets Sajjan over handling of military misconduct allegations. Trade talks dominate discussions at G7. NATO leaders call out Russian and Chinese governments. O'Toole says Canadian housing prices, inflation turning into economic crisis. Canada's cost of living shows signs of accelerating. Green Party leader Annamie Paul isn't bowing to calls for resignation. Indigenous Services Minister says review of CHRT decision on Jordan's principle was not taken lightly. Death of First Nations youth while in care of BC government. Another Hyundai sunroof explodes with 14-month-old in backseat. Easing restrictions does increase the likelihood that more COVID-19 cases will be introduced from abroad, experts say. Tories demand release of Winnipeg lab documents amid questions on employees' Chinese military connection. Why industry experts are warning travelers about booking cheap flights. Travel demand on the rise as some international restrictions lift. More confusion over AstraZeneca booster shot in Quebec. NACI recommends Pfizer of Moderna for people who received AstraZeneca as first COVID-19 vaccine. Shototul, Sajjan Spar over handling of military misconduct investigation. O'Toole calls for Defense Minister's resignation over handling of military misconduct investigation. House of Commons censure vote targets Sajjan over handling of military misconduct allegations. Trade talks dominate discussions at G7. NATO leaders call out Russian and Chinese governments. O'Toole says Canadian housing prices, inflation turning into economic crisis. Canada's cost of living shows signs of accelerating. Green Party leader Annamie Paul isn't bowing to calls for resignation. Indigenous Services Minister says review of CHRT decision on Jordan's principle was not taken lightly. Death of First Nations youth while in care of BC government. Another Hyundai sunroof explodes with 14-month-old in backseat. There is always some risk that even fully vaccinated travelers can carry the virus, said Dr. Kelly Lee, a professor in health sciences at Simon Fraser University and a Canada Research Chair in Global Health Governance. Load error. What the science says is that no vaccines provide 100% protection of getting infected, she said, but noted the vaccines approved in Canada are very effective against infection. People can become infected and they can also still transmit the virus even if they're fully vaccinated. And that's what makes it very difficult to just not fling open the borders as we all really want to. But unfortunately, because that's the case, we have to be still very careful about who we let in, how we test and quarantine those people as they come in. Health Canada data shows between June 6 and June 17, 73 flights landed in Canada carrying at least one passenger positive for COVID-19. There is no public data on the vaccination status of those passengers, because of the risk of introducing new cases, said Dr. Isaac Bogich, an infectious disease physician at Toronto General Hospital. It's important to be clear on what Canada's goals are. If the goal is to keep all cases out, we would have a different policy, he said. But that's obviously not the goal. The goal is to certainly significantly reduce the number of cases that are introduced. Keeping in mind that Canadians want to travel, though, he said these rules are reasonable. Sadness and anger. Nunavut NDP MP Mumalak Kakak on National Indigenous Peoples Day. Fully vaccinated Canadians no longer subject to mandatory hotel quarantine starting July 5 drive. Brent Roussan on workplace transmission of COVID-19 drive. Brent Roussan on COVID-19 vaccine interchangeability stirred by Kamloops tragedy. A Labrador woman expresses her grief in a poem. Manitoba meets first vaccine goal tied to reopening. Hundreds line up outside Winnipeg pharmacy for Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Alberta's opposition NDP calls for government action in wake of new overdose statistics. Some COVID-19 restrictions on international travel easing. July 5 expert, frustrated. Americans not included in eased border restrictions. Easing some border restrictions, a step in the right direction. Expert says government provides update on how those with permanent residency can travel to Canada. Transport Minister extends flight ban to India. Fully vaccinated Canadians do not need to quarantine starting July 5. British celebrate summer solstice at Stonehenge, planning a new home to maximize energy savings. We want the freedom to travel and we want to reap the rewards of vaccination, which I think most Canadians do. But there will be a small trade-off, and that means there'll be some cases introduced into the country, he said. Unvaccinated people will still have to quarantine upon arrival in Canada. Also, children who are too young to get the vaccine will also have to quarantine, though they will be permitted to do it at home. Their fully vaccinated parents will be allowed to go out into the community. Again, Bogic thinks this is a reasonable compromise. Kids, of course, can transmit this infection. And those under 12 are not yet eligible for a vaccine, so they're being treated like other unvaccinated individuals, he said. Then there is the question of proof. Travelers are being asked to provide proof of vaccination, first through the ArriveCAN app before they arrive, and then to keep copies of that proof with them. Falsifying vaccination documents can result in a $750,000 fine, up to 6 months in jail, or both. Blair said the government will be able to verify the vaccination certificates, but added that Canadians should carry a digital or paper copy of their vaccination records, for both doses, in addition to uploading it to the government's app. We're very confident that the ArriveCAN app will do the job for us, for all travelers coming to Canada, to be able to verify the vaccine documentation, Blair said. I'm not really sure how they would do that, Lee said, adding she would like to hear more details on how the app could detect fraudulent documents. Global News requested information from the Canada Border Services Agency, CBSA, but did not receive a response by deadline. Of course, there's going to be attempts to create fraudulent certification for immunization, she said. So what the government really needs to do is make sure that there's a secure and reliable system. And that has been talked about a lot around the world because there's recognition of this problem. This is complicated by different countries recognizing and using different vaccines, and a lack of standardized documentation, according to Lee. For the traveler, it could be a nightmare, she said. You have these different requirements, may not be able to do things if you arrive in a country. If they're using vaccine passports domestically, you might not be able to do what you want to do, and so on. Countries are working on a system to standardize these things, Lee said, but it's not a top priority right now as most countries are still just trying to vaccinate their own population and deal with the pandemic. Toronto police launch investigation into alleged aggravated assault. Crowds leave behind long weekend mess at Toronto parks and beaches. Red Cross holds Water Safety Week. Ontario COVID-19 vaccine call center and web portal overwhelmed Monday. Ontario beginning to ease COVID-19 restrictions Friday. Egerton Ryerson statue toppled amid growing calls to change university's name. Ryerson School of Journalism to rename publication. Pop-up vaccination clinic opens at Woodbine Racetrack for hotspot postal codes in Rexdale. Brampton man facing murder charge in death of wife. Portion of Scarborough Bluffs to be fenced off. Montreal buzzing as Canadians move on to round 2 following victory over Leafs. Ontario to allow limited number of fully vaccinated healthcare workers to watch Toronto Maple Leafs game in person. Paramount Fine Foods CEO says financial loss not most important. Following devastating fire. Video shows suspect wanted in Mississauga restaurant shooting. Both Bogic and Lee say that this is only a first step in opening up international travel in Canada, and that having more and more Canadians fully vaccinated is key to opening borders. Vaccines are definitely a game changer. We are in a very different situation than we were 6 months ago, Lee said. And so if we get sufficiently high enough percentage of the population in Canada fully vaccinated, it won't matter as much if we do continue to import virus because it's like a match falling in a wet forest. It'll be less likely that that match will spark an outbreak.